obviously last week's performance, I think there's a lot to learn. I think our team learned a lot from Saturday's game that, the great teams, the really good teams, prepare to win every week. And, you can't take this game for granted because there are too many things that can happen in a 60-minute football game that you have to prepare for it throughout the week. And I think for the last couple of weeks, our guys have not locked in and dialed in the way that they had previous weeks. And maybe knowing that we were one game away from a championship, or knowing that last week's game didn't count. Obviously, again, there's never an excuse, but just trying to get into the mindset of an 18 to 23-year-old who's enjoying success for the first time. Sometimes those things happen. And we're in the embryonic stages of this program, of rebuilding it to the level that we think we'll get to. And so I think we'll take those lumps along the way. And obviously with every one, we grow. And I feel like this team has grown over the last few days and had a very, very spirited meeting on Sunday to kind of bring things back to perspective. And got the biggest game of the year this week. And we said it every week, that every game's a big game. Every game's the biggest game of the year. But this week, it definitely holds true. And we're playing our rival, Bethune-Cookman and FAMU have been going at it on the gridiron for a very, very long time, even way before I came about. And a lot of great games, a lot of great players, a lot of great moments in the history of this game, different venues. And we're very thankful to Camping World Stadium, City of Orlando, for allowing us to play the game there. Very, very thankful to Florida Blue for being our title sponsor. And just thankful to everyone that's worked extremely hard to put this game on and to make it the event that it is. And it's a great way for two historic institutions to be on the national stage. It's the game of the week, Black college football, and again, everything's on the line. So it's been a great week for us. We need a great week of preparation as always, and obviously they're a team that's playing good football right now. Beat a good North Carolina Central team last week on Thursday night. So they've had a couple of days to prepare for us before our game against South Carolina State. So we'll need to catch up in that preparation. But I think these guys will be ready to go. I feel confident that the coaching staff will put together a game plan that gives them a chance to be successful on Saturday. And it's going to come down to the team that executes the best, the team that stays together and plays extremely hard for 60 minutes that comes out of the game Saturday victorious. And again, if it's the Rattlers, obviously we'll be at champs and on our way to the Celebration Bowl.
Coach, you said you guys had a spirited meeting on Sunday. What kind of things were said during that meeting?
We're always honest with the guys. Win, lose, or draw, I think in the developmental young men, you have to be honest. And after a win, sometimes our more spirited meetings as far as our tone, our language, is after a win. Because again, a lot of times, even after you win the game, you look on film and you see that there are things that you didn't do very well. Sometimes more of our toned down speeches are after losses. So the thing that we really emphasized on Sunday was that we have to get back to our identity of who we are as a football team. I think we've gotten away from that in the last couple of weeks. We were a team that had that chip on our shoulders, feeling like we were the number 5 pick team in the preseason. When they came to practice every day, they came to practice with that mindset that we have to prove everyone wrong. We are a better team than a 5th place finish. And once we got to that place where we were on top of the standings, I think some of that feeling went away. And so we got to get that chip back. We have to play with that chip because that's what's made FAMU the great institution that it is. We've been built upon overcoming adversity. And for us, you always look at it as if the chips are down. And as a football team, I think you have to take that same approach. So kind of get back to our identity of who we are, what we believe in. And that's really what Sunday's talk was about. And then doing it together, coming together, being a close-knit family and making sure that everyone is brought in. Because if you're not, of course, we can't get it done. I told them the best team will win on Saturday. Not the one who the best players, but the best football team will win this coming Saturday. And so we began our quest of, in 5 days, becoming a closer team that takes the field united. And I think that gives us a great chance to be successful.
Coach, you talk about the chip on their shoulder. I mean, y'all haven't won this game since 2010. I mean, is that chip enough as you head into this week?
Oh, no question about it. We've kind of, leaned on that number 7 all year. It's kind of been a number that has great significance for us. And obviously, biblical terms, 7 is the number of completion. And again, not that it matters, but my number was 7. But for us, we kind of felt at the beginning of this season, it's going to take 7 wins to get this thing done. Obviously, we were speaking in the sense of 7 MEAC conference wins. But for us, we put ourselves in a position where, ironically, we win this game. This is our 7th win. Our 7th win gives us everything that we worked extremely hard for. So that's kind of been our rallying cry all season, and we're going to lean on that this weekend.
Coach, after the game on Saturday, you said you didn't feel like the team was having fun lately. Is there anything you can do to change that this week in practice? Is it being a rivalry game enough to change that?
Well, the thing about football, when you talk about the fun in football, fun comes into execution. Football is only fun when you're out there and you're beating your opponent because you're methodically better than them, that you're physically better, that you're more prepared than them. That's where the fun comes in. Football's not the sport that, like I tell the guys all the time, if even me, and I'm out of shape now, and if me and Rory and you decide, hey, we want to go do something fun, we're going to go get a basketball, and we'll go in the gym and we'll go play a game of basketball. We're not going to go out the field and play football. That people don't do that. The ones that play football understand that it's a tough game. It's a physical game. There are a lot of days where you're questioning whether this is really what you even want to do. And so the fun you play 1 game per week. You do all that practice from Sunday to Friday. You only get to play 1 game a week. So the fun actually comes in that Saturday when you get to put all that together with a group of guys that you sweated with, that you bled with, that you cried and laughed with. We get to do it together on the field of competition in front of thousands of fans on national TV, and I get to put my craft on display. That's when it's fun. And so the last couple of weeks, we've done everything but go out and execute. And so it's not fun when I'm not executing, because that means I'm not putting all the work to execute. So for us, let's work hard enough that we can put all that on the field on Saturday, and that's when we'll start having fun again.
Coach, lack of execution was one of the things you mentioned Sunday night. The other thing that I found a little profound was that you mentioned they had lost trust. Would you say it's that, or maybe they got comfortable and got a little distracted, which we talked about a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's we lost focus more so than trust. I wouldn't say we've lost trust in each other. I think they still feel like they have a coaching staff that puts them in position to be successful. I think they still feel like they have a coaching staff that cares about them as individuals and more than just football players. I think as teammates, they trust that they're going to go out and work hard in the classroom and in the weight room and doing those things. I think there was just a certain level of complacency that set in. And again, when you have this type of success so fast, sometimes you lose sight of what got you to that place. What got us to the top of the MEAC was not how talented we were. We're playing with the same guys that have been here for the last 4 years. What got us there was their attitude, their attention to detail, how hard they worked in practice, how much they cared about doing the little things right. And I think we started to slowly get away from that, and I think that's what started to show up on the field. We made mistakes in last week's game that we hadn't made all season. We were busting day 1 installation plays. Plays that we put in the very first day of practice, August 3rd, we were messing those plays up on Saturday. That's lack of focus. That's all that is. And so for us, it's about channeling that focus back in, understanding that we do have a purpose here, that we have a goal here, and the only way to get that done is that we channel all of our energy into that. And that's why we made the decision this week to get off of social media. Let's get off of all those things that can distract us. Let's get our tunnel vision back of what it was during the middle of the season when we were playing our best football.
Coach, this is a program that hasn't had a winning season since 2011. How do you teach them how to handle success? When they get that success and they start to get a little complacent, how do you teach them to handle that success and move forward?
I think it's all about our habits. Winning, consistency is all in habits. And so, again, we have a saying here that the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And so you can't expect to win on the field if you're losing in every other aspect of your life. If we're not going to class, if we're not getting our study table hours in, if we're not eating properly, if we're not getting ample rest, we're not going to continue to win. Again, winning is not a byproduct of how talented you are. Winning is a byproduct of putting everything together that you need to do to be successful. And so for us, that's what we continually talk about. We don't really use the word championship a whole lot, if ever. You know, we talk about the process and the steps that it takes to be successful. And the same principles that apply to being a championship caliber football team are the same principles that apply to you making good grades and graduating from college. It's the same principles that apply to you going on a job and performing at a level that keeps you employed and allows you to feed your family. Same principles that apply to being a good husband or being a good church member. All those things are the same. And so for us, I think the way you teach a group of guys who maybe haven't had the success on the field as they've expected is to let's develop the habits to have success, not only out here, but in everything else that we do. And I think the guys are slowly starting to understand that. And if they can keep that going, I think we can sustain success and not just have a one-year wonder, but that we can sustain success and have the program that Jake Gaither built, to have the program that Rudy Hubbard took over and kept going, to have the program that Billy Joe took to new heights. That's what those guys were able to instill in those young men.
Coach, you speak about the players and learning to win. You've been a winner at previous jobs, but you're on the cusp of what would be your first Celebration Bowl appearance. So speak at it from a coach and a staff perspective, where you guys are at right now.
Well, again, whether you're the head coach or coordinator, position coach or player, I think it's all the same mindset. You know, our attitudes can't change. Our approach to coaching can't change because it's championship week, because everything's on the table. We have to believe in the process. As a coach, I put the philosophy of this program together, and it's my job to see that it gets carried out through my coordinators down to my assistant coaches. And that's what we're entrusted in doing. And so I have to focus on the details. I have to do the same thing that I'm asking my players to do. And the assistant coaches have to do the same thing. So for me, I don't look at it as, oh wow, this is my chance to win my first championship as a head coach. That's never entered my mind. It's what can I do to get this football team as mentally, as physically prepared to be the best that we can be on Saturday. And if we do that, I'm satisfied. Win, lose, or draw, if we go out there and we prepare to be great, if we go out there and we play well, the outcome doesn't matter, because that's the one thing I've learned in this game. Yes, we want to win. Yes, we want to win championships and do all those things, but seeing these guys grow and develop and understand what it takes to be successful in life, that's my goal and my mission here as a head coach. And so, but I'm just crazy enough to believe that if we do those things, the wins follow. And so I got to stay tunnel vision, just like I got to ask my team to stay tunnel vision. We do that, I think together, collectively, we'll be in good shape.
Coach, with everything on the line, are you worried about them pressing too much, them wanting it too much this weekend?
Well, when you don't prepare, you worry about that. I think the team that's prepared doesn't press. I don't believe in performance anxiety. I don't believe in test anxiety. I know they're real things. They're obviously medical terms and things of that nature. But I don't think someone who studied the material in class, who knows everything that's on the test, goes into there with test anxiety. I don't think anyone who's took ACT or SAT prep and passed all the classes and done all the tests goes into their test and has test anxiety. I don't think anyone who studied for months and months and months for their bar exam goes in there with test anxiety. Just like I don't believe any football player who's practiced hard every single day, who studied film, who's gone to the weight room and worked his butt off in there, who's eating properly, who's had ample rest. I don't think you go into the game with test anxiety. So if we do those things, I think this team will go into Saturday confident and be ready to play. If we don't do those things, then I think we'll go in there anxious because you don't know what's going to happen. And so that's our goal this week. Do the things that it takes to be successful. And I asked him that question. Does anybody in the room think that we can miss class this week and still beat Bethune? None of them raised their hand. Does anybody think you can miss weights this week and still beat Bethune? None of them raised their hand. So they believe that we have to do everything right. And if we do everything right, I think we go into the game with a great mindset, and that takes away the anxiety of what might happen when the ball is snapped.
Coach, one of the
Two losses.
glaring things in the last two losses is just something that you mentioned, the struggle with athletic quarterbacks. It's not going to get easier this week. I don't think Bethune had their starting guy. We got two guys who have been alternating, but it's a system to play. Have they had, between the two losses and the few days they're going to have for practice, you think that's enough to get them zoned in on what the deal is as far as?
Well, the thing whenever you play athletic quarterbacks that you have to understand, they're going to make plays. I mean, good athletes make plays. That's what Xavier Smith, if we throw him the ball enough, he's going to make a play. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to make a big catch. Azende Ray, Bishop Bonnet. Good players make plays throughout the course of a football game. The thing that our defense has to understand is that we have to make the plays that are there for us. if they're gonna run zone option offense, somebody has to be responsible for the running back. Somebody has to be responsible for the quarterback. Somebody has to be responsible for the pitch. When we do those things, we actually play pretty well on defense. We might miss a tackle every now and then, but if we miss a tackle, if the pursuit's there, the guy might get a few more yards and he gets tackled. That hasn't been our problem. Our problem the last 2 weeks has been somebody's not on dive that's supposed to be on dive. Somebody's not taking the quarterback who's supposed to take the quarterback. Somebody's not on pitch who's supposed to take the pitch guy. So that's the problem that we need to fix. It's not whether a good running quarterbacks gave everyone problems. The thing that gave the big bad Alabama Crimson Tide issues was Johnny Manziel, because he's an athletic quarterback. Same reason Cam Newton is a great quarterback in the NFL. So whenever you have a guy that can run, you can't account for him. So he's gonna make some plays. Their quarterback Saturday obviously may make some plays. If we play assignment football, everyone does their job, which is what our defense is built around, we'll be fine. If people start freestyling like we did last week, more so than any other time we've done all year, we may be in for a long ball game. And so that's the thing we got to focus on this week. Just get back to doing our job. When we were playing the best defense in the MEAC in the middle of the season, guys weren't having missed assignments. The last 2 weeks, offensive, defense, and special teams, we've had over 100 missed assignments in both those games. We were probably averaging about 25 through the middle of the season. So you add 3 times the amount of missed assignments the last 2 weeks, there's the result. So get back to doing the little things that we're coached to do, and the rest will take care of itself.
Coach, 2 losses in a row for the Rattlers, and then you got to turn around and play a team like BCU in a tough rivalry. How important is practice from a coaching standpoint, and as far as the players as well? Like, what's the practice supposed to be like this week? What's the approach that you guys take to leading up to BCU?
Well, again, I don't think you change. That's the one thing about it. I think consistency is what makes you great at anything. And we tell the guys all the time, we have a saying about, we chase perfection, we'll hit excellence along the way. Well, excellence to me is just being consistently good. That's what excellence is. If you're consistently good, eventually when your career is over with, somebody will say you were great. Michael Jordan has scored 32 points every night. He might score 40 one night, might turn around and score 20 the next night, might score 18, then score 30. But he was consistently good over the course of his career. That's why he's great. Same with LeBron, same with Tom Brady, and whoever else is considered great. So we don't change the approach based on who the team is or what we have to do. We believe that we don't win the game on Saturday. We win the game Sunday, then on Monday, then on Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday. So if we win what's right there in front of us, by the time we get to Saturday, we put in the work that needs to be done. So we feel like we won Sunday. Had a really good meeting on Sunday. The guys ate well. They came back and we had really good meetings. Feel like we won Monday. Great practice, great attitude. Today's Tuesday. We have to win today. We cannot focus on Saturday. We have to worry about what's right here in front of us now. We win today and continue to win days throughout the rest of the week. Then again, we'll get to Saturday knowing that we prepared better than them, that we're ready to go, and we'll go out there and be able to play loose and have a good game.
Coach, you're from this area, your wife went here, your kids go here, your family all grew up rooting for FAMU. How personal is this game and this rivalry for you?
You want to check my cell phone? Text out back this week. That'll let you know how personal it is. But no, we understand the magnitude of this game. The moment I took the job, the talk wasn't winning the MEAC championship. The talk wasn't going to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. The talk was ending this 7-year losing streak, because every Rattler has had to endure this for 7 straight years, to go to work on Monday and hear all these Bethune-Cookman Wildcat fans talk trash about the game. And so that's been the talk for the last year. And I understand that. Growing up in these parts, you have to understand that. In 2 weeks, the team across the street will understand that when they go against their in-state rival. So we understand the magnitude of the game. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be a 100-yard long field, 53 1/3 yards wide. Still going to put 60 minutes on the clock. The football's still going to be the same dimensions. Nothing's going to change. It's a football game. The same way you prepare to win other games, the same way you prepare to win this one. So again, I think when you start thinking about it in the context of who it is, what's at stake, all those things, you lose focus and you lose sight of what needs to be done that day. We just focus on what needs to be done to be our very best. The rest will take care of itself. And those are the little things that we talk about. When you start looking at the big picture, I think you lose sight of the little things and you get yourself in trouble. Let's focus on the little things. Let's put our blinders back on. We do that, I think Saturday takes care of itself.
Coach, isn't it almost fitting that Bethune-Cookman is the game that if you guys win this, it's a MEAC title, the first MEAC title in so long. When you first got here, you stepped onto that podium and said, "I'm home," and the fans cheered for you. Is it almost fitting that your first season at FAMU is coming down to this?
Well, I mean, I hate to sound cliches and all those things that use coach speak, but it's fitting that we control our own destiny. It's fitting that we go into a football game knowing that if we prepare the way we need to prepare, if we play the way we need to play, and execute the way that we've been coached to execute, we're conference champs. Somebody's got to line up against us on Saturday for us to get that done. It just happens to be Bethune-Cookman. So, yeah, would it be a little bit sweeter knowing that we've clinched against our in-state rival? Of course it would. But at the end of the day, it could be Bethune, it could be A&T, or Central, or Southern, or anybody else in the conference. We know that we're the only team in this conference that's going to a game this weekend saying, if we win, we're in. Nobody else in the conference can say that. Everyone else has to look at their phones after the game and see what happened. We don't have to do that. We go in and we win, we're MEAC champs, we're going to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. So that's our focus. Let's do the things we have to do to be prepared. Again, it's Bethune-Cookman, but they're a football team. You know, just like we had to go and beat A&T. We didn't get caught up in that it's A&T is A&T. They're the team that's standing in our way. There's a team standing in our way of our conference championship. They just happen to be the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. So that's our approach to it, and I think to me, in any kind of rival game, and we've all been in them, this is the rivalry, the trash talk, it's for the fans. It's for the alumni, it's for the presidents when they finally get face to face, and the ADs. Again, Terry Sims is down there trying to prepare his team to win a football game. Willie Simmons is in Tallahassee trying to prepare his team to win a football game. The coach who does the best job of that with his assistant coaches and gets his guys to not look at the fact that it's the Florida Classic, I think that's the team that comes out of Saturday victorious. And so that's been our focus all week. That's going to continue to be our focus. We've done our motivational videos. We've done all the things to get the hype the game up and all. But again, you come out there at 3:20 today, you'll see a group of guys that's focused on winning today. Nothing else but winning today. And I think we do that, we'll be just fine.
Coach Chad Hunter was seen around campus in a boot. Can we get a quick update on him and Bishop on it and their health heading into the game?
Well, they're both X-rays were negative, which is a positive. So again, you know, this late in the season, everybody's banged up. Everybody has ankle soreness. Everybody has knee stiffness. Everybody has tendonitis. I mean, it's football, and so it'll take the act of God to have those two guys not on the field on Saturday. If they got to come out there with the boot on, they're gonna play. And so, but no, I mean, there's nothing structurally wrong with them. Just some sprains. Obviously, Bishop's been dealing with ankle injuries all season for the most part. Chad's been dealing with some tendonitis in his knee the entire season for the most part. But again, all the guys that we held last week, we feel like we'll have them guys back ready to go by Saturday.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks.